Great, Nick. Dude. Gosh, I just got this package from you. I happen to have the day off, which is great. Right now we're experiencing an incredible thunderstorm. Haven't had many this year. I don't know if you can catch any of this. We just had a bolt that just shook the house. This is great. We haven't had any rain, like you say, for a while. In fact, we haven't had any water, running water, for 3 months. Been surviving by putting a water hose next to my neighbors. They're on a different water line, so they got water. Now, this rain will perhaps fill up the reservoir enough so that we'll finally get some running water too. Usually Taiwan's is soaking wet, but it's been dry this year. I like it that way. Pretty neat. So yeah, I just opened up this package and looking through it, and I found the case marked Roots, but I think you forgot to put the tape in the box. You probably found that out not long after you sent the package. Hee-haw. Dude. Shit, and that's the tape I want to listen to more than all the others. Figures. Oh, here's going to be a good one. Yeah. That was okay. That wasn't that close. Yeah, great lightning storm. Nice, cooling the place off. Yeah, the package arrived here on, let's see, today is the 31st of July. And I note on the postmark here, it's June 14th that you sent it. Surface, baby. So there you go. Surface takes average 2 months. So this one is a little bit faster than that. $3.78. God. Cheap. It cost me that much to mail a damn letter to the States. A lot more expensive going from here to there. Yeah, I just got a phone bill here for a whopping $100 for just, what is it, about 3 or 4 calls to the States, short ones too. Amazing. Never ends. But, yes, back to the package. Cool, I haven't gone through everything here yet. As I do, I can add to this tape. The AT&T thing looks very interesting. I'd like to know some more about that. And great glyphs here of Tim and the gang. I have a picture of the gang shot in Burroughs' book, that same photograph's there, but let's see, the one of Jack Kerouac I had seen, and then with 2 of Neil and Timothy. It's fantastic. Great, great. Just see your note here about it being Ginsberg's book photographs. Fantastic. Very good. So, dude, where's my Roots tape? I got the box, but no tape. Oh, gosh. Hey, this thing is really great, Nick. This is totally cool. I fucking love it, man. I mean, I spent a lot of my money and time into putting my computer together, so I haven't really been playing with things like tape recorders and whatnot lately. However, we did get a VCR. It was great. I went to go deliver a computer about a month ago or so to a customer. And this guy, he's Chinese, and he's moving to the States. And we were having a nice time talking and stuff, and as he was getting ready to go, he just kind of out of the blue goes, "Hey, you want a VCR?" And I said, "Sure." Huh. You giving VCRs away today? And he goes, "Well, I got this one here." He goes, "It has a little problem." He goes, "I don't think it costs much to fix, but you're welcome to take it." Because I don't want it. So I said, "Sure, let me check it out." And it's a Sony. Very nice one. Big monster. And we took it down to the local guy here to fix it. It cost Oh, cost maybe 24 bucks. Ooh, just saw a huge flash. This is going to be a good one. Maybe you'll catch it. Maybe you won't. Let's see. What do we got? Whoa, gnarly. Gnarly out there. Yeah, so anyhow, you've got that. That's a cool thing to have. Very cool. And, God, I just love this little thing. This thing is so cool. I always wanted one of these suckers, man. Always wanted one of these suckers. Dan had one. I think it's fucked up. And he's even got some little tapes here, as I see. And I think his is in worse shape than his is fucked up. So, dude, shit. See your note there? 800,000 bucks. Good. That's right on. In one way, it's a lot of money. In another way, you kind of go, huh? 800,000, you could spend that pretty easy. But then again, if you think about in terms of putting money down on things to buy something, property or a house or anything, it's a lot of money. Hell of a lot of money. With that kind of cash collateral, you could, as you know, you could do a lot. Or you could just put it in the bank, Nick, and sit on it. What are you going to do? You're going to give it to to posterity, or use it? Use it or lose it, dude. Hell, I know what I'd do. One thing I'd do. Travel. I'm not much into traveling either. I mean, I came to Taiwan, but I just want to come here and stay. A lot of people here, big-time travelers, like Dan, he likes always bouncing around. But if I had some money, I'd probably go do that, just to have done it. I'd go. I'd like to see London and Amsterdam, where the puff is totally happening. I'd like to see something of India, Nepal, Kathmandu. And that's about it. As far as, you know, maybe the Egyptian pyramids or something. But, yeah, some of Europe and India, northern India, I think would be quite interesting. And then I would go and just kick out somewhere, like Guam. Guam is totally bitchin', dude. Totally bitchin'. I can better than Hawaii. I mean, I've been to Hawaii only for a layover on a flight, looked around, and it looks great there, too, but Guam is just unbelievable, man. It's just, it's just like Hawaii, only it's small, there's nobody there, and it's just beautiful beaches, and just a beach scene, man. I mean, nothing's happening there. Just beautiful sandy beaches, beautiful coral canyons and coral formations out there, clean water, beautiful air, KB lifestyle. I don't know, I probably wrote you about that. I'm not sure. I'll have to go through my discs here and find if I wrote you about my Guam trip. It's pretty great. God, I'm so enthused, man. I just got this thing, man, and I'm already just ripping through it here. I got it on slow speed, which you'll find out. Oh, man, we're just getting some roars here. I got to stop, see if you're picking up any of this. Yep, you are. Just played back and heard that part. Yeah, nice thunderstorm. Anyhow, I'm, got the day off today. Today is what, Tuesday? Or Wednesday? Wednesday, I think. Yeah, days go by fast. I've been working at a computer shop now, down in Beto, which is like 5 minutes from the house. It's great. It's really great. God, I got my motorcycle, and before I was making the big trip down to Taipei every day. It was like pretty much like riding from Laguna Beach to L.A., or so it seemed. Not as far, but fucking dangerous as hell, man. I mean, it's just crazy out there, man. And they don't have any smog control. So all the bikes, they're all these little mini bikes, and they're all just, I mean, it's just smoke everywhere. When I come home at night, my clothes are just completely inundated, soaked with smoke. The wrong kind of smoke. Not so great. So this new gig just started. It's not very busy, not as busy as I'd like it to be. And it's let's see, what do I want to say about it? It's convenient to go there, and the guy is a young guy, and he's got his own little company there. And what I do is I go down there whenever he's got sets, that is computer sets. That's just a complete unit to put together. And what he does is he buys the empty cases and all the parts, and he gets orders for various computers, and then he gives me the list of, you know, each computer, what needs to be put into it, and I just put it together. And I make anywhere from about $15 to $25 per set. I can do, if I had them all lined up, I could do probably 8 in a day or something max. That would be max, but I'm averaging maybe 2 or 3 a day is all. But it's enough, you know. I'm learning how to do it. I could do this in the States very easily now. You know, if I could set up a shop, it's just a matter of getting customers. But if I set up a shop, I could get all the parts from my buddy here, Xiaozhuang, and put the units together myself and sell them. And, you know, it's a neat idea. Beats the hell out of truck driving. It's a lot more interesting. So there's that. And today he didn't have any sets. Well, actually, we're waiting for some parts that we couldn't get, so I got the day off. I've been having a lot of days off lately. Almost the whole month of July has been a kickback, which is just great. I've had some puffs, so it makes having the time off really, really nice. And been jacking into the computer like crazy, learning things. Basically what I'm doing is just learning how to get it so it's really nip and tuck. You know, I've got a color system now and a hard disk and a lot of really neat software. I probably got $5,000 US worth of software all for free here in Taiwan. We've got all the latest neat stuff that people are using in the States, and things like Windows and WordPerfect and a lot of other stuff. The main thing I do with the computer, aside from playing around with configurations, is this BBSing I've told you about. God, it's really neat, Nick. Really neat. I don't know if it's something you'd be into, but it's definitely the wave of the future. And there's a lot of things happening. It's hard to explain how great it is. I think I've probably talked too much about it in letters I've sent you, but essentially what I'm doing now is I make a phone call, a local phone call here in Taiwan to a BBS, which is in Taipei. And what I do is every morning I call up and I go into this BBS, and the BBS comes up with a menu on the screen with all the explanations and help menus and anything you need. You just press H and help comes up, and you can get any kind of help you want if you don't know how to use the BBS. So basically what I do is I call up the BBS, I go in, the menu comes up, I say I want to download my mail. So what the BBS does then is it packs up all the mail that it got through the night. And lately it's been averaging around 300 to 400 new messages every day. And these messages are divided into categories. Some of the categories are just technical, and some of them are just BS. Some of them are just chit-chat. There's thousands of different what they call conferences, and that's what these message areas are. Right now we've got about, I think, 24 message areas that we get from the States. But this BBS has got a network that goes all over the world. And how that works is anybody who's got a computer can, anybody who's got a computer can get the software and they can become a BBS. And how do you become a BBS? Well, you install the software into your computer and hook up a phone line to your modem, and then you become a BBS. And then you can send out a message by calling another BBS, telling everyone that you have a BBS, and then you start getting calls. So by doing that, you become like a node to this network. And so there's nodes all over the world, and all this mail just kind of gets passed from node to node. There's a system to it. So every day, people are writing messages, and they all get sent into a central sending point, and from that point, it's sent out via various network channels. The guy here in Taipei, he and 3 other guys, they all have BBSs, and what they do is they pool their money together to pay for the phone call, and it takes one phone call every night about, I think, 1 o'clock in the morning. They make a call to the States. It takes about 10 minutes, and they receive all this mail. So the users like me, I don't have to pay for those long-distance phone calls, and yet I get all these messages from all over the world. After the BBS sends me my mail, it packs it up into a bag. So let's say originally the mail bag is 300 messages. Each message may be, let's say, 300 bytes. Okay, each byte, let's say a one-page letter is 2,000 bytes. That's about what it is. So a message, maybe a third of a page or something, 300 bytes. Okay. Well, what the BBS does is it compresses the messages. It compresses the bytes. So a 300-byte message might be compressed down to 150. And if you compress 300 messages, you get down to about 50% of its original size, which means that it can send it to me in half the time. And usually 300 messages usually takes me about 10 minutes to download. Okay. So once I download it, then I sign off from the BBS, and then I go back to my computer, and I have another piece of software. It's called a mail reader. And with the mail reader, I can take the mail bag that I just received, and the mail reader will unpack it. So, excuse me. And after it unpacks it, it puts it into all its categories, and I can use this reader to go through the messages and read them slowly and answer messages that I want or anything. So it's really great. I'm getting a lot of stuff. So, but that's just one small aspect of what this is all about. I mean, the idea is I mean, for I'd say most people, they're just using it just to BS, you know. Oh, hi, Mary Beth. How are things in Little Rock and shit like that. But what's really happening with BBS is information exchange. Just this week, I got some great articles from one of the hottest BBSs in the States, which is something you could get into, which is called The Well. The Well is a BBS in San Francisco that's run by the people who do the Whole Earth Review. So it's all heads of the 60s. And all these heads are just, I mean, they're just totally getting into it, man. I mean, it's fucking unbelievable. I mean, even Gaskin, Stephen Gaskin, man, that guy, he's totally into it. He's out there in the data cloud. And these guys that are doing the Well, it's one of the primary focuses is on electronic constitutional rights, which has become a definitely interesting issue, because as it stands right now, there's already been a few raids on BBSs, and they've confiscated computer equipment and floppy disks and stuff, but they've ended up giving it back because it's unconstitutional. And so there's a whole thing happening there. I'll send you an article. I'll print out a copy of this thing I've got, and you can read through it. You may be interested, you may not. I find it really fascinating. I mean, and I might have mentioned, about how Tim, all these years, at least for the last damn near 10 years, has been talking about computers. And when he started this bit with computers, I said, oh, shit, this guy, what is he, sold out? Is he wimping out on us or what? I said, computers, get real, man. And now I totally understand what the guy's talking about and totally understand, his excitement and his enthusiasm for what's happening, And it's unbelievable, what's happening, virtual reality and this data exchange idea, what is the data? Well, I don't know, information, it's like knowledge, and I think it's just really going to be, within the next 10 years, it's going to be it. I mean, for all of us, we're going to have access to this thing, As it stands right now, from up here on Phoenix Mountain, in China, I'm in direct contact with all over the world. My brother's got a BBS in Nevada. I've been calling him. It's great. I can get software. I can write letters and everything. It's instantaneous. It's just unreal, what you can do. And right now, they're trying to pass legislation for a network, a national network, data information network that will link all libraries, academic institutions into the BBSs and link it into things like CompuServe, which will mean that from any computer deck, any computer, you can have access to all the information that's available out there. I mean, it's so far out already that as it stands, they have a thing called hypertext and hypermedia. And the way it works is, let's say you go into your computer. Sorry to be jabbering so much about computers. I mean, just as a little footnote here, as a tree-dwelling Taoist monkey, I think that the idea of computers, electronics, and all that is it's a worldly thing, and it's just it's not necessary to get to the higher space, But on the other hand, it's a tool that can be used, and on that level, it's fun and it's exciting, and that's what's happening there. But as a Taoist, I see it as I see it in a frivolous light, a light of frivolity. Easy for me to say. At any rate, this hypermedia idea it's just totally cool. What it is right now they are able to hook in CD-ROM players into computers. It's no big trick. It's very simple to do. This allows computers to play music from CD discs, and it also allows computers to play video. So let's say you're sitting at your desk, you've got your little laptop there and your modem and your telephone. Okay, you call up the central, whatever your central node is, or your BBS that's in your area, and you call up and you say, you press L for library. Okay, now you go into the library and you say, let's say you type in Leary. Okay, Leary. All of a sudden information starts flowing across your screen. And you start seeing things like maybe all the articles that were ever written by Leary, all the books, all the movies. Okay, you go under movies, you find some, I forget, there's a movie Tim did. I forget the name of it, really funky. I'd probably find it here. Anyhow, he did some funky little movie, so you say, okay, you want to view that movie, and you could punch in, I want to see, the section, okay, let's see, here it is, the movie, let's see, featuring the slogan. Let's see, Hidden Valley. Oh, okay. In Millbrook, 1967, the author, in an autobiographical movie about Harvard professor who takes refuge on an Indian reservation to escape the thought police. Okay, it doesn't name the name of the movie, but at any rate. So with this hypermedia, you've gone into a library, then you've gone into Leary, then you've gone into movies, and now you can see a clip of the movie. Okay, now what this idea of hypertext and hypermedia is just that all the information from all various sources is all interconnected, and you can go any way you want. So then you select, okay, you want to find out who made the movie. Now you have that person up on your screen. Let's say Robert Smith or whatever. Then you could find out about Robert Smith. You could say, when was that guy born? Where was he born? What was his mother like? And then you could find out about his, whatever, his educational history, which might come up at the University of Tennessee. He attended the University of Tennessee. Then you could go into University of Tennessee and find out what classes they were offering in the spring semester of 1992. Anyhow, the idea is just it's only limited by imagination of how far and where you could go, and they're already starting to do this. And by playing with modems and computers now, you're just, one step ahead in knowing how to access this information when it becomes online, when it becomes available. I'd like to read I know you've probably read Flashbacks by Tim, but this is just really interesting about some things that he's talking about, just to kind of refresh your memory about what he's up to. It says, in the 6 years since Flashbacks was published, I have spent around 4 hours a day receiving and sending Wonderland ideas at the speed of light through the looking glass of the computer screen. I have learned how to use software directories and files to process, organize, clarify, store, retrieve, and transmit my digitized thoughts. I have helped develop 6 interactive thoughtware computer programs. By the way, I have one of his software called MindMirror. Very good. These exercises in translating lettered thoughts to digital codes have helped me understand a bit more about how the mind works, software, how the brain works, hardware, and how the universe evolves in terms of information algorithms, algorithms, sorry about that, cellular automotive jammed into overcrowded von Neumann neighborhoods. Anyhow, it says, the metabolism of my information organ, brain, seems to have undergone a dramatic change. My eyes have become 2 hungry mouths through which electronic pulses reach the receptive areas of my brain. My head seems to require a daily input of several billion bytes of digital light-speed information. In this, I am no different than the average American televoid couch plant, but my brain has also transformed into an output organ, emitting, secreting, discharging digital information. Just as the heart is programmed to pump blood, my brain is now programmed to fire, launch, transmit, and beam catabolized thoughts through the electronic window. The screen is the revolving glass door through which my brain receives and emits its nourishment. I find it amusing to think that this migration through the Alice window into Siberia, Cyberia, could be as important in the evolution of our species as the migration from the ocean, Aquaria, to the shoreline. He also says, of course, not all humans will make this move. Many of our finny ancestors preferred to remain in Aquaria. Many humans will be trapped by their gene pools or compelled by repressive societies or will be seduced by material rewards, money, sex, power, and thus remain contentedly imprisoned into terrarium. I guess that's right. Terrarium of the material flesh world. Individuals who learn to construct and inhabit auto-realities on the other side of the electronic window are free to construct electronic realities and walk around in them. The classic metaphysiological terms can now be operationally defined. Spiritual can be defined as digital. Recite yourself in the classic mythic magical words: ethereal, incorporeal, intangible, non-material, disembodied, ideal. These realms, dreamed over the centuries, can now be realized.
Most of us who have the option will exist as amphibian bi-brains. Most of our waking hours will be spent in the cybernetic digital brain world. Our time spent in the organic machine form will be seen as delightful, slow, sensual, lush, erotic, fleshly, carnal, playful vacations from the accelerated, jazzy realities of cyberspace. Anyhow, he goes on. That's the afterword, starting on page 377, flashbacks. And he gets into it. Talks about how he learned how to send digitized thoughts and whatnot. So it's very interesting. I don't know. You know, Dan here, Dan Reed, who's in Thailand now, living in his new adopted country, had for a long time when I first came to Taiwan, I didn't have much interest in computers per se. But one of my first jobs, I had to use one. Corners here. You can do anything, man, as much as you want to do, you know. It's great. Like, you know, for instance, I've done a few calligraphy shows now for a big pin company here. They set it all up. I go to a big shopping center or a big department store in Taipei, and they set me up with a desk and everything. I bring my pins, and I sit there and I ask the Chinese their name, and I transform their name into English and then write it out. And then they'll buy things. They'll buy books and little cards and whatnot, and ask me to write inscriptions, and so they kind of see how the pins are used, because most Chinese don't even realize that Westerners even have anything like their calligraphy. Well, I'm just ripping through this tape here, almost through one side at slow speed. As you can tell, I'm into this. I'm getting talked out. I've done this before. I don't talk much up here in English, so sheesh. Get something like this in my hand, I just babble on. Yeah. So, where was I? I was right here, moving around, thinking of places to live. Well, if here now is where it's at, I'm here now, and it seems to be pretty good for right now. It seems funky in a way. I could see living back in the States. Your area is pretty nice up there. I like that up there. The Bay Area, though, I think of all the places I'm currently considering, as far as other than Taiwan, the Bay Area seems to be the most attractive because of the scene there. A lot of heads, and the cyber people are all there. And the attitude about smoking it is pretty cool there. And that's really, really essential to me, that is. I mean, it seems essential. Might be just as easy to let it all go. Let it all go, for sure. I do love to smoke, though. And down in Orange County, it's just like, God, I mean, when I'm back there, I just puff a little bit with some friends, and people look at you like, fuck, what happened to your eyes, you know? Fuck, I don't know, I went swimming in a highly chlorinated pool or something. God, in Taiwan, they never say that. I mean, you could be totally fucking wrecked, destroyed, and they won't even say shit. They'll just go, hi, ni hao, how you doing? That's what I love about the Chinese, man, because they're all so funky, most of them. Not the exact suits down in Taipei, of course, they're just like suits everywhere, but, you know, the common folk here, man, they have an expression, a few, one's wu so wei, it just means nothing, you know, it's all okay, it doesn't matter, you know, they really look into the heart of people and not into their appearance. I suppose if they did focus on appearance, they'd all be blown away, because most, 90% of them look pretty funked out, man. God, it's funky. But anyhow, yeah. Northern Cal sounds pretty good. There's some good people up there. And it'd just be what to do. Computer biz would be pretty competitive up there in the Bay, being Siliconville. Yeah, there's always something to do. You know, Ray and I have talked about starting some kind of store. I think I'll probably mention be a computer store or an incense store or something like that. That'd be an interesting way to make a living, I suppose. Art, I possibly could do something like that. I could do that here, but for some reason I get stifled when I have to charge for my work for giving it away. Not a very business-like approach. That's why I always drove truck, because it was very straightforward, you know. I'd drive this motherfucker from A to B, and I get paid for it, and that seemed to make sense to me. Selling things is just weird, you know. How do you put a value on art? Art is, it's hard to put a value on. Now, it's 3:33 right now, and it's Wednesday, third day of the week, 3:33. That's nice. Yeah. So, as you can tell, I'm slowing down here, dude. I'm getting talked out, man. I might have to go brew up a cup of my wife's delicious coffee. Yeah, she works at a gourmet coffee shop, so I get all the gourmet coffee I can drink. She gets me Blue Mountain coffee, which comes out of Colombia, and I don't know. We tried to find some when we were in the States last time, and it's just like unavailable because the Japanese buy it all up. What they don't buy, a little bit trickles down here into Taiwan, so we get a little bit of this. But this is the best coffee in the world, Blue Mountain is. And, of course, it's funky because it's taken me a little bit away from drinking the good Chinese tea. But Chinese tea is like 3 times as expensive. And finances as they are, prohibits such luxuries. Yeah. Anyhow, get javaed up and get back on this damn thing. I'll probably ramble on for a little bit longer. You might be interested to know that they didn't open your package that you sent to me. I guess they didn't. I mean, I'm assuming you used, yeah, you did. You used this paper tape. They didn't open it, dude. It's fucking great. I'd say about 90% of the stuff I get, they never open. Funny, they didn't even write on here. They always write on here the address, and they didn't write it. Funny how they'd know. Huh. Strange. I don't know how the fuck they knew. Oh, that's really odd. Usually on the address, they'll have somebody in the office figure out what the address is. I guess they fucking know my name now down there. That's cool. Yeah, I love it when I receive packages that haven't been opened. I just love that. Now, my mom sent me some stuff for Christmas, and yeah, they got into that. Look at this, June 1990 in July. Fuck, are you kidding me, man? That's a year old, dude? Okay. I guess I could wait another year. I just looked at that little tape box again. The fucking tape ain't in there. I first thought, well, maybe the P.O. got it, but no, they didn't open it. They didn't even look in the sucker, so. Anyhow. You're going to have to resend it to me, dude. You can just tape over this one that I send you. God, as tiny as these things are, I don't know what the best way is to send it. I guess I could just put it in a fucking envelope, a letter envelope, and wrap a little bit of this bubble pack around it you sent, and it'll get there. Yeah, everything in the package arrived perfectly. Perfectly, dude. Yeah, I love it. I was telling you about this fax modem card I was waiting for. Now that's a cool thing, you know. I don't know how much fax machines are going for. Probably cheapest one's probably $300 or $400 for a fax machine. But the thing I've got, it's a computer fax machine. and it does just about everything and more than a regular fax machine can do. The only thing it can't do is I can't sign things, or I can't like write out something and fax it. Like with a fax machine, you can sit down and you can just write out your fax on a piece of paper, stick it in your fax machine, and send it. Well, I can't do that. My faxes have to be typed in the computer, but it allows me to put in graphics, any kind of graphics I want. So I can use the computer to draw something, like I could draw my name, or I could put a picture that I find, or something like this, and I can put that into the fax, and it will send it. I can put a little code in the letter to say insert picture A here, and it will do that. So that's pretty cool. If I had a scanner, and scanners are about $200, if I had a scanner, I could scan something I wrote with a pen and scan it into the computer, and then I could send it as a fax. So all I need is a scanner. But the card is totally cool because, first of all, when I receive faxes, when it receives a fax, it writes the fax directly to my hard disk or to a floppy, whatever I want, which means it doesn't use any paper. It doesn't use special fax machine paper, which means that the faxes will last, however long my hard disk lasts. And whereas fax machines that use special photo-sensitive paper, they fade out after probably a year or two. Can't read them anymore. So that's pretty cool. You save them on a disk, and then if you want, you can print it out on my little 9-pin printer. So that's pretty cool. I can also set it up so that as it receives, it will write it to the hard disk and print it out on my printer using any kind of paper I want, just standard paper. And what else can it do? Well, it's pretty neat because I can send as many letters or whatever as I want to as many numbers as I want. An example of that is, I'm checking to see how much tape I got left here. I'm thinking getting down to the end. Close. Anyhow, I can, for instance, let's say I want to send you one article B, or one article A, one article B, one article C, and a letter, which will be D. And I also want to send all these to Matt, okay, who we're assuming has a fax machine. So you both have fax machines. Well, I just go into my software, and I just pull up the directory list, find the files. I just press the space bar, just like on a keyboard on a typewriter, space, space, space for the files I want. Then I go to my phone list. I space, space for your number and Matt's number, and I just press send. So then what it does is it sends those 4 things to you, and then it sends the 4 things to Matt. Now, if you had a regular fax machine, you would be doing a lot of paper feeding. You'd have to feed in each one of those You'd have to call up Matt and then send by hand. You'd have to feed through those articles or whatever they are, the letters, in through the fax machine and wait for them, and then call Nick and do it again. So that's one of the advantages of this fax card. It's very good. The other advantage is the fax card, it cost me $130. And the fax, it's got the modem built into it. Modems go for around $75 for a modem, so that's built into the card as well. And so that means I have an extra modem now because I took out the one I was using, and that modem I could sell for almost the same. Well, I could sell it for $75. So really, I got the fax modem card for $75, which is great, really great. Super fine, and yeah, man, when are you going to get your fax machine, dude? Or are we just going to send these little mini, cool little cassettes? That'd be fine with me, man. I think I can handle that. Well, before the side of the tape runs out, I want to say again, thanks, Nick. Thanks for sending this sucker to me. Thanks a lot, and thanks for making all those tapes of Alan Watts. I'm curious, how do you make these tapes? I mean, do you have a big machine that you can make these little mini guys. I mean, I can't imagine using one of these little guys to do all that tape transfer. How do you do that? Tell me if you got a chance. Then I got to find out if I can get. I'm sure I can get these tapes here in Taiwan. Got to. I got these little fuckers here, no doubt. So cute, man. So cool. Shit, Ray is gonna flip out when she sees this fucker. She's gonna go, mine. Yeah, I'm just looking at it. Microcassette recorder. Totally bitchin', man. Fucking love this little bastard. Sorry, Nick. Pardon my language. Still got a lot of the old truck driver in me. God damn it. Yeah, so talking to this thing, I'm all keyed up now, man. I'd like to talk to you instead. But this'll do. This'll do for now. At least we have this. But I find that making cassette tapes is about as easy as writing letters. Takes time, get around to it. I wonder about you, dude. Mr. Writer. You know, shit, man. Your writing is kind of slackened off, and it seems like you have the time. Is it just that you don't have anything to write about, or what? You have to let me know. No inspiration? Can't believe that for a fucking minute. Yeah. And how about you doing any exercise or any shit, man? You don't want that your hot belly getting bigger than it has to be, right? I mean, I was a little bit surprised seeing Matt last time. I mean, Mark said, "Oh yeah, Matt's big now." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "He's big." I said, "Well, he's always been big." I thought, "Oh shit, he is big, you know." Yeah, it's metabolism. I picked up some Joanna jeans there. Anyhow, you, dude, you know, I don't have to tell you. In fact, there ain't much I can tell you about that, but just as your friend, I just hope you do try to do what you have to do to keep at least a little bit in shape. I mean, shit, I try to do my exercises every day. I haven't been doing too good this last few weeks with the computer. I've been flipping out, getting all this new mail and stuff, but I have been pretty good about it. Put my palms to the floor now, and I'm pretty limber. But I still smoke. Smoke like a chimney, man, playing with the computer. That ain't too good. As you can hear my laughs and whatnot. Get a little bit of that congestion in there. But aside from that, I eat good. Still, you know, just limit how much I eat, and what I do eat, I try to eat good. And just smoke too many cigarettes, I'm afraid. Don't know if I'm ever going to give that one up, Nick. It's probably going to give me up first. Yeah. So, shit, getting down here on side A, man. This little fucker, God, I'm just totally fascinated by it, really. Always wanted one of these fuckers. I think I said that, huh? Sorry about that. You know, at least I don't seem to have any major pauses in here about what to say or how to say it. Yeah, looks like it's getting right down to it there, buddy. Can't really see in here. It's kind of dark where I am. Okay, now I can kind of see. I got a little bit of tape left on this side. Well, when it runs out, I'm just going to flip the motherfucker over, start up on side B. That means I get a full... Fuck. M60, man. Seems like this fucker's been going for more than a half hour.